Hey everybody, welcome to the Team Eat Sweat Pray team call. It is November 21st and it is almost December. Like, how is that even possible? 2017 is almost over. That's just crazy to me. As far as announcements, Kate, Christy, I guess I didn't double check with you guys beforehand. Do you guys have any specific announcements? I'm doing a 3-day refresh next week for those that want to join me.
I am also doing that, but I'm not happy about it.
I'm also starting Insanity, and I'm not happy about that.
Okay, tit for tat.
So if anybody would like to join Christy and I, we apparently are calling each other out, and I really don't want to do Insanity, you guys. I'm not going to lie, but I am going to do it because I love Christy, and I really need to finish. So we're going to do max 30 before Christmas, and then it's 80-day obsession, which is really, really exciting. So Kate, do you have any announcements at all? That you can think of? Okay, I can't think of any other ones. So we're just going to jump right into the call, you guys. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's just go to desktop. Okay, can everybody see that all right? Oh, what's that blue line? All right, guys. Here we go. So tonight I'm going to be talking about if you don't ask, they can't say yes, which is kind of a little bit of a misleading, title, maybe. I don't know if that's where I want to go with it. And I'm going to share some stuff with you guys about this last month for me and where I'm at in my life right now that I'm not exactly the most comfortable sharing. I'm not going to lie, mostly because I am a huge perfectionist. I don't like messing up. When I do stuff like all the way. I seriously do not half-ass really anything in my life. And I feel like this last month has been a lot of half-ass, and it really makes me sad. So bear with me with this vulnerability that I'm about to share with you guys, but I hope you guys learn a lesson from this, because I certainly have learned a lesson from it. And it's kind of it's a no-brainer, but at the same time, it's nice to know that other people can be in the same boat. Especially people that have been in this business for a while. I've been coaching for 3 years now, and this stuff still happens where you feel like you get stuck. So let's go forward.
Wait, is your computer plugged in? It looks like it's going to die.
My light's not showing up though. Oh, and I unplugged it from the wall.
I don't want to lose you because I'm excited.
Oh, now it's showing up. Okay, thank you, Kate. All right, so we all have seasons of our lives, you guys, and this is kind of a collage of the season of my life that I've been in lately. So I think most of you guys know that my husband is dragging me along on this wonderful adventure of we are co-owners of our hometown bowling alley, and we are putting a restaurant in it. I have never even waitressed, you guys. The closest I've ever done to any of this stuff is being a hostess, and I hated it. I did it for a month, and I was like, done. This job sucks. And now we're going to run a restaurant. The only part that really excites me is that my hometown desperately needs a restaurant and needs healthier options, and I am really, really excited to be able to provide those to our community. So I say he's dragging me along, but this is something I'm really, really excited about. And like I said, you guys, I don't like to half-ass anything. So when we jumped into this, at first it was, okay, Kyle was just going to do all this stuff, and we were going to hire all these people to do everything. And it kind of came down to, I partially am way too OCD, partially way too much of a perfectionist, and I like things done my way. So that has really taken up a huge amount of my time this last month. Now, like I said earlier, you guys, I've been coaching now for 3 years. It was actually, is it 3 years this month? I think it might be 3 years this month. Maybe it was last month. I can't quite remember. I think I maybe signed up, and then I officially did my first group that I hosted was end of November. But so once I started actually working the business and hitting Success Club, you guys, I was at 11 months of Success Club in a row. And last month I missed it. I only got 2 Success Club points. And this is the part that like, I just like, it doesn't really kill me. I'm kind of over it. I really never got really dramatic about it, but I am a little disappointed in it because I was on such a roll and I honestly was in such a good point in my business when my husband suggested that we make this big change. And it was a part that like, I was on a roll. I had gone PRN at the hospital. You know, here I was working at the hospital, got to stay home with my baby. So I truly, not only did I want to stay home with my kids, but I wanted to focus so much more on my business. And this has really pulled me away from that. So you can see all these wonderful little collage of the things going on. I didn't anticipate building a bar. I didn't anticipate having to learn how to put together an LLC. I didn't anticipate having to do an employee handbook. And all of a sudden I'm writing a 20-page employee handbook and like all of these different things. And I just want you guys to understand that we're all busy, but we all have the same 24 hours in a day, and we have to decide where our priorities lie. So we talk about how nice it is that, you know, you can work this business as you want it. You know, we can do it as a hobby coach if you want. You can do it however you want it. We always talk about if you want to walk, we're going to walk with you. If you want to jog, we'll jog with you. If you want to sprint, we're going to sprint with you. That is what we do as leaders on this team. And it's kind of hard when we can't keep up. And that's definitely how I've been feeling this last month. But what it comes down to is we really, truly have a choice. There's been so many moments this last month, you guys, that I truly have played the head game where I've gone, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing? I'm doing like bare minimum and really have gone down on myself because like I said, I like to go all in. And, you know, I really, truly have done the bare minimum. And when I say the bare minimum, it means that I wasn't inviting. I wasn't getting my power hours in. I wasn't working this and treating my business like the business that it deserves to be, because you guys, this business is amazing. Like, it's seriously amazing. There's so much potential in it, but I wasn't treating it that way this entire last month. And yes, I have all those reasons and all those excuses, and anybody that would look at this stuff would go, okay, but you've done so many other things. But I know I probably could have done better. If I would have invited you guys, even 10 people this last month, I'm pretty sure I probably would have hit Success Club 5. Pretty sure that would have happened. But I didn't. I let the head game win, where I said to myself, I'm totally, you know, just too busy. And then November hit, didn't hit Success Club. And then I'm like, all right, time to turn it back on. So you have a choice. When you have these busy seasons of our lives, we have this choice of, do we let the head game win? Or do we decide that we're going to turn this around and be the badass? Because guys, that's what we get to do with being a coach. Like, we get to be this inspiring person, and it is so, so fun. So I went through this rough month of not doing the work, and then it definitely led me to kind of open my eyes to how I want to run my business and make it more fun and be exciting and really take it back to where I was at the beginning and why I started this. I did it because I needed the accountability. I needed accountability in my fitness. And also, I have some freaking amazing challengers and amazing coaches that they needed me to step up. So if you get tired, learn to rest, not quit. And that was something at the end of last month, I definitely had to realize that's what I was doing. I wasn't quitting, because there were so many moments that I was seriously like, I am so busy, I don't know how I can juggle it all. But you can't quit. And there's a real big reason why you can't quit here. And I'm going to get to that in just a second. But I want you guys to think about your market, the people that you are targeting and where they're at. So seriously, this is kind of a conglomeration really of all of our markets. Our markets are people, some of them are wanting financial freedom, you guys. Some of our ladies are truly, and men, I shouldn't say just ladies, but they're wanting that financial freedom. Some of them completely feel lost. That's where I was when Kate reached out to me. I was in, you know, a part where I truly was leading down to postpartum depression and felt lost. I had become this quote unquote mom, which I know you guys have heard me talk about before, where that's not a bad thing. Being a mom is absolutely amazing. But sometimes when we don't take care of ourselves, we lose ourselves. And I was totally lost. A lot of our challengers, you guys, are self-sabotagers. Seriously, raise your hand. Who is a self-sabotager? I've been there, done that so many times. Some of them really just need a friend. They need somebody to cheer them on. Some of our challengers are depressed, and you guys, there's such a large chunk that say they've tried it all, but they haven't. They haven't had you. They haven't had you as their coach cheering them on, telling them this is what we can do, let's try this, and being that person for them. So that's really our market, you guys. But the thing is with our market, they might be in all of these different areas, but they 100% trust you. So when I had to look at this last month and realize that I was resting, I was not quitting because that's just not an option for me. I had to think about my challengers and my downline coaches and everything else, because we always talk about if you aren't willing to walk through those hard times, how can you expect anybody else to do that? That's what our job is, to be inspiring people and motivating people. And your challengers trust you. So when you're not showing up, they're not going to show up. I came off of 3 seriously fabulous months where I was hitting above Success Club 10. My challengers were doing amazing. I was making sure I was tagging my people. Everybody was doing so good. And then it was like, seriously, I let the brakes fall. And I can't believe how sad that makes me that I did that, because these people trust me and they were getting results and they were doing all this stuff. And because I wasn't showing up this last month in the group, I was seriously doing the bare minimum. That's what my challengers were doing too. And it really truly makes me sad that that's what I let myself do. But remember, it's okay. It was okay for me to rest, but I definitely should have been putting things in place. I could have been scheduling my posts, you guys. I could have been doing a lot more things that could have made my challenge group really good this last month that wouldn't have taken much time. And that was a choice I made. I'm disappointed with that choice, but like I said, please learn from my mistakes, that there are things you can do to better it. Honestly, I have so many dominating people in my challenge group that I probably could have reached out to any single one of them and said, hey, I need help, and been, willing to ask for help. Could you post this day or whatever? And I know they would have done that, but I chose not to do that. So once again, learn from my lessons. Know that this truly is a village of people that can really help you. And you already have those people in your challenge groups, you guys. So there is no way we were born just to pay bills and die. I mean, really, you guys, seriously, we were born for so much more than just showing up, going to work, and that's it. There are so many people on this team, you guys. Truly, we are here to be awesome. We're here to build each other up. And I could have put 100 probably more pictures on this, but these are some of my favorite ladies that I've been working closely with lately. And I mean, every one of these gals on this slide and so many other have really touched my life in such an amazing way. And that's why we're here. We're truly not here to die and pay bills, you guys. We are here to build each other up and to support one another. And that's what it came down to for me when I was sitting here questioning myself on if I'm doing the right thing, because I'm so busy with this other little season in my life and what we're doing and what my husband and I are trying to build. But I have these ladies that they count on me. And I cannot imagine what my life would be like if somebody hadn't asked me, if Kate hadn't asked me to join a challenge group. And you guys, seriously, hindsight 2020, big time, because at the moment it just seemed like, okay, it's the right thing to do. But I didn't realize how much of an impact it would make on my life. But some of these, I'm just going to talk about some of these ladies on this slide. Natasha, for example, she totally spoke to my heart when we both can very much relate to that path of postpartum depression and health and fitness being something that truly saves you from, going down that path. And Kelsey was stepped in at such a pivotal point for me that I was like, this gal actually really built me up and made me feel like so much more of a leader, that I was really questioning myself in the moment that she joined me. Kendra is just a total badass herself. She's just amazing. And she was probably the first person that I was like, holy crap, this can actually really be a business, and made me realize the true potential of where this comes from. And obviously Kate and Chrissy are my gals. We've been in this from the beginning together. Jasmine has really truly touched me in so many ways and has given me such a good example of how to deal with those busy seasons of your life, and when things don't go the way you want, how to stay positive. It is so crazy how everybody can just impact you in different ways that you just don't even realize how, I don't even know what the right word is, you guys. How much a little notion of saying, hey, do you want to join a challenge group? Would you be interested in this? You have no idea how much of an impact you can possibly make on somebody. And Susan is another gal that's in this picture here. Susan's from the UK. She's one of our founding UK members. And we've exchanged some personal messages lately that seriously have made me go, how do people even relate to one another without being open and vulnerable? And it's so hard to be that way in this world. But that's why we're here, you guys. We're here to teach each other that we're all normal and to build one another up and cheer each other on. And I'm just so grateful for this team of women, because without this, you guys, I don't know where I would be at as far as an emotional state. Okay. So don't quit when it's just starting to get good, because then nobody's going to tell you yes. You guys, what if nobody asked you to join this? I don't know how you feel, but seriously, this has made such a huge impact for my life that I truly don't know where I would be. And if I'm not continuing to invite, like I did this last month when I just seriously did not invite, I did the bare minimum, no one can tell you yes. Well, I can tell you now, I have gotten back into my routine in November. I have 5 links out right now for people that are planning on buying challenge packs. And I'm like, this was seriously 2 days of work. I just decided to take this weekend to work on and get back into the groove of what I was doing, which, you guys, sometimes when you take that break, it's hard. Like, I will be the first to admit that it's almost weird and awkward. I'm like sending messages. I'm like, I've been doing this for 3 years, and I'm sending messages to people that I feel like awkward sending. But if I don't do it, then nobody can tell me yes, you guys. And here I spent one weekend, decided, okay, I'm going to do this. I have to do this, fly through it. And now I have the potential of 10 Success Club points, and that's 5 more women that get to join my tribe, and I get to love on and be inspired by, and that's just so amazing. All right, so my last slide for you guys, we're gonna cut it fairly short tonight. 5 things you should quit as soon as possible. So I just told you all about how you should not quit, right? Well, here's the things that you should be quitting doing. Quit trying to please everybody. Seriously, you're not going to ever please everybody. You're going to hear no's. You're going to have people tell you that it's not the right time. You're going to have people say that you're not doing the right thing, or they think this coaching thing is a scam. You're going to have people say those things, but you have to realize what exactly you're doing is benefiting so many people. 2, fearing change. I have been so fearful of change so many times, and I think Kate and I were talking about when like Beachbody On Demand, or did you mention this in your last one? She was talking about how Beachbody On Demand, how she was like, that nobody's going to do that. That has like been me from the beginning. Like every time something new has come up, I'm like, what? This is going on? No. And now I'm changing the format for how I run my groups, and I'm so excited about it. But if I hadn't gotten through those little things of change along the way, I would have been still stuck doing the exact same thing. So don't be afraid to change something up. If you feel like, okay, something's going off in my groups, like I need to change something, talk to everybody. See what everybody is doing. See if there's something fresh you can throw into that. 3, living in the past. It is really easy to really, no, honey, you can go do this yourself.
I don't know how to.
Well, you're going to have to go ask Daddy. Cool. Sorry, guys. Number 3, living in the past. It's really easy to think of yourself as that person before Beachbody. Like think back to where you were at before Beachbody, because where I was at before Beachbody was at a low point. It was an ugly point, you guys. It was a point where I had like no confidence, like hardly any self-esteem, which was not even the person I was before I had kids, to be totally honest. So you have to kind of forget that person that was holding you back. Forget that past that maybe you feel like is still holding you there. And putting yourself down, this goes right hand in hand with a previous team call that we've talked about. I mean, you have to cheer yourself on. And there, like I said, you guys, how many times this last month have I said, am I doing the right thing? What am I? And I kept questioning myself and telling myself I wasn't good enough and I wasn't being there for my challengers, and I wasn't. But putting myself down about it certainly wasn't helping me, was it? You know, like I really need to cheer myself up and do the work. That's what I had to do. And 5, quit overthinking it. Good grief. Seriously, we get in our heads, and I am like probably the number one person that does it. We get in our heads and we think, I can't do this. How am I going to do this? I'm too busy. when really it's just like, oh my gosh, send the messages, just get over it. If you would have stopped worrying 5 minutes ago, you would have already had 10 messages sent. Like, we just have to quit overthinking it. So, all right. There's my spiel for tonight, guys. Hopefully that was a little short and sweet to the point.
It was a great spiel, Sindel.
Thanks. And I'm not gonna lie, you guys, like when I was sitting here, I was like, gosh, I hope I have 10 successful points already by the time I have to host this team call. That's why I told Kate and Christy, I'm gonna rock this month. And I'm close. Like, I know I at least have the potential of doing that. But you guys, this last month, like, I had 11 months in a row that I was dominating, and I let it go. And that it's hard to even talk about that in some ways, but at the same time, it's not, because we're all human and people. And I hope you understand that being vulnerable is part of life. So we may as well just embrace it. So.
I think the call was awesome, Sindel, and I think it's so true. I mean, I've felt that way, especially after having Charlotte. Like, I told myself, okay, I'm going to take some time, and I did, but getting back into it felt like I wish I would have just spent like 10 minutes more a day, right? Like, you can find 10 minutes to invite 2 people that day, right? Because it was hard to get back in afterwards. And I loved, like, your motto, though, like, you can rest, just don't quit. And I think that, like, a lot of people, like, just quit, right? Especially a lot of new coaches quit the moment something hard happens. So you have to go back to your why, of why you're doing it. Otherwise, you won't be able to get through that. This is a roller coaster. Like, it is. And Sindel sharing this, like, being that vulnerable, like, it's so true. This is a roller coaster, and that's normal, but the highs are, like, incredible, right? Like, it's so incredible, and the lives that you get to impact are so incredible. So I think it's such a good reminder, especially now during the holiday season where it's, like, ridiculously busy too. So
I can't even tell you guys, like, how good it made me feel to, like, jump back in this weekend and actually do my inviting the way that I used to do it, and do that, because you know how, like, you put a post out and you assume everybody's just going to be attracted to it, even though we've told you like a bazillion times that's not where it's at. That's what I was doing all last month. I was hoping that people were just going to magically find me by putting, like, I continued to put posts out, and I was just hoping everything was just going to fall into place. And it didn't, and that really sucked, and it really stung. So it was so nice to finally be reaching out to people and creating new conversations, because you get such a high from, like, oh my gosh, I actually can inspire this person, and let's see what works good for you, and getting to create that conversation. And it gets them excited, because then you're excited. Like, it just, I don't know, it's fun. We have a really cool gig, you guys. So don't quit it.
I think you're so right, Sindel. And one thing that just, like, hit me when you said, like, well, I think for all of it, and I know that Kate and Sindel and I can all attest to this, but if you guys don't have a success partner yet, no matter where you're at in this business, or somebody, you need to get one, because it's during those times and those moments, you know, we all had each other as we've had babies and been through these life changes to help pick up the pieces, or to walk through it, or to talk us off the ledge of insecurities, or push us to get up at 5 a.m. and do things we don't want to do. And your coach, as much as they love you and want you to be successful, can't be your everything. You also need to find, you know, others out there who are passionate about this with you, so that you can walk together, run together, and pull each other out of that time, right? And so I would just urge you, if you haven't already, to talk to somebody else on the team, or another coach you know who's not on our team. It doesn't have to be in our team, that you feel like can challenge you and push you and help you grow and not let you quit.
I love that. And if you guys need help finding somebody, just let your coach know, seriously, because we will happily try pairing you with somebody. And it's kind of a dating game. I got lucky with mine, so I didn't have to go through too many people, but I did go through a couple that were not
Yeah.
Nice.
I have since been headhunted multiple times, but I have not left Sindel.
Christy keeps being poached. Like everybody's trying to poach her from
Literally, a gal poached me in front of Sindel, like at dinner, our first year summit. Remember that? And she's like, "Do you have a success partner?" I'm like, "Yeah, Sindel." And she's like, "Oh, well, you should be my success partner." And I'm like, "She's right here."
Kate's done the success partner dating game too.
I have, and I'm in the process right now too, because the one that I had before was, they should be somebody that's at the same pace as you. And I want somebody that wants to run like really fast with me. And I haven't found that. So it's, we have awesome women on our team, new coaches that have just started. So if you're a newer coach, like, this is the time to like connect when you're all at the same pace and you can go together. And I feel like that's what's so awesome about Christy and Sindel is they connected right when they started going. And now they're both like rock stars together.
Amazing. Yeah, that's what you were looking for.
And I'm like, can I be your success partner too? But it doesn't work that way.
Like our honorary success partners.
But
you know what I mean? Like, it's so helpful. And those are where like your awesome friendships really connect to. So anyways, that's another call topic.
I need one more second because I got to brag about how cute my kids are. Their hockey pictures just came back, and Sarah will appreciate this. Look at that little dude. And his little team. He's right here. Hold on.
Oh.
Look at him. He's so little. He's so cute. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, they're adorable.
I feel like
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Sindel, and maybe Christy and Kate too. So I haven't really started sending any invites to anyone or messaging anyone, probably partially out of fear / I just sort of don't feel like I know what I'm doing or have the confidence to do it. And I know Christy and I are going to hit up the 30-day coaching plan thing, whatever you want to call it. But so I recently got a message from someone who was wanting to have me have a pampered chef party. And I get super annoyed when people I haven't talked to in a really long time just message me out of the blue and like shoot business at me right away. So like, do you guys have any advice for how to start those conversations with people you haven't talked to in a while, but and like not come off as sales pitchy or, make sure it's genuine? And is it more just about just having a conversation first and then jumping into the Beachbody stuff? Or like, what advice do you have for me on that?
I think, you definitely want to have that conversation first. I am not a cold market person. Like a lot of people are like cold message person, I guess, is like, that's the messages you're getting out of these cold messages. And a lot of companies do that, you guys. It's truly, they changed the name, but that was about it. I've done that in the past, and I felt really yucky about it. Now, there are top coaches that do send out cold invites, and that's their personality. It doesn't bother them at all, and they're very successful with it. But if it's not your personality, which it's so not mine, I feel yucky when I get those messages. Don't do that. Like, do not do that. Create a conversation. And I mean, make a master list of all the people that you're like, not necessarily even that you just can help them, but you're just like, hey, I would like to work with them. They'd be fun to have in a challenge group. Like just a master list of like 100 people. And Chrissy will probably go through all this with you. But make this big list and just start talking to them. You don't have to be inviting right away. The thing is, when you have a passion for something, it's naturally going to get brought up in conversation. Maybe it won't be brought up the first week or even the second week. Maybe it'll be 2 months down the road. But you've started generating that conversation, and it doesn't feel yucky when you say, oh my gosh, I have this Hot for the Holidays challenge coming up. Do you want to join us? It'll be a lot of fun. Like, and that's all you have to do. Like, really, truly, it's really that simple. It's also that simple not to do. Kate, Christy, do you guys have any additional?
Yeah. I'll say that I do send out some cold invites. And that is it has to be to specific people. So they're not cold market. They're people that I know, but that maybe I haven't talked to in a really long time. But I am running a group that is designed for them. So let's say I haven't done one, but it's like only moms group. So I'd reach, or like busy moms. So I'd reach out to some of the moms that I think are super busy, and I'd say, I thought you popped into my head because I always see you posting crazy stuff. So you can do, like, I do some of that, but I think that genuine conversation always helps. And when mine usually don't lead naturally into Beachbody because I like struggle with bringing it up. Like I just do. Oh, she's gone. Oh no, you're there. Your pictures just showed up. So I just wait a week after the conversation dies and I say, hey, I thought of you. Just because we were chatting last week and I've got this group coming up. I don't know if it's something you'd be interested in, but I figured I would just check because this has totally changed my life, or something like that. If it doesn't come up, that's kind of the way that I do it. And the thing is we're all so different. You're going to find your groove and you'll get into it, and that's what will work for you. So like something that works for Sindel might not work for me, and vice versa. You'll find what works best for you. So just try a few things out and
I'm just going to add, just because I do a combination of both of those things. I also am, if I am cold inviting, and this is newer to probably the last 5 months of my business, I do it with a voice memo. So if I am cold inviting them, it's a voice memo because it's easier for me to be like, hey, I saw, first of all, when you make your list, I would say pick 5 to 10 this month or 20, whatever your goal is, and start loving on what they're posting on social media and engaging with them. And then being like, hey, oh my gosh, I super love the top in your picture you just posted. Where is it from? I've been thinking about this, and like, or hey, oh my gosh, this might be super random. Like, it's like me, right? And more relaxed and not scripted. And I have proven that I care by taking the time out of my day to voice memo them. So that's something that I do just a little bit differently with like my cold ones, and not all the time because sometimes I don't have to. What's time for that? This last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I haven't done anything. So we're doing good. That's not true. This week I have. I had a Sindel moment. I jumped in the pit of the bowling alley with her, and I don't even live there. So I'm also building a bowling alley. It's just I'm like emotionally building it. And Sindel's not, and it's not her fault. It's mine. But emotionally, I'm also building a bowling alley. So
I think this is like the hardest time of the year, I think, because of the holidays. But remember that don't use it. I'm not saying you're using it as an excuse, but don't use it as an excuse because come January 1st, all those people that told you no are going to start thinking about getting healthy, and you're missing out. That's what I'm telling myself, because the first 2 weeks I was in the bowling alley too. And, and I'm like, even in the bowling alley with my new coaches, like, I'm like, shoot, I dropped the ball on that. It's just, that's life. But we can pick ourselves up and have everybody be ready for the new year, right? Those seeds are planted.
Can I add something to that? I've also been building a bowling alley. It looks a lot like a trial though. And so I've been bowling a Sindel as well. That's horrible. We shouldn't call it that, Sindel.
That's all right.
But yeah, I've been building a bowling alley and it looks like a trial. And so I haven't been doing anything either. But something that has helped me as a new coach, Ashley, is to think about it less seriously, or maybe that's the wrong way to say it. But like if you had this pair of boots that were like rocking your socks off and changing your life, would you not want to share those boots or that lipstick or like whatever it is with other people? And so I have been like taking myself so seriously, like this is such a big deal, it's such a big commitment, it's an investment, and oh my god, they're gonna hate me, like why would they ever want me to share this with them? And it's like, well, because I love it, like why wouldn't I want to share it with other people? And so not taking myself so seriously has really been great for me mentally to get over that fear, because it is like terrifying.
It is kind of, it's like a mountain to get over. Like I thought of how annoyed I was when I got that message about Pampered Chef, and I was like, I don't want to be that person. I'm not doing that. And like, I'm like, well, this is getting me nowhere in life. So,
but if you, instead of approaching it like that, maybe just think about it as like, I know Kate always says this, but like an invite where you're like, no pressure. Like this has just been so awesome for me, and like I want to share it with you if it's something you're interested in, but with no pressure. That might take the pressure off yourself too.
Yeah.
Pressure taker offer is the doing a prep lounge or a sneak peek or warm up, or whatever you want to call it, and inviting them to that. So, hey, I don't know if you've seen me like sweating my ass off to Shanti, because that's Ashley personality. I'm speaking like I'm Ashley. Sweating my ass off to Shanti.
That's accurate.
I know you. So, right. But I'm running this like kind of informational sesh about what it is I'm actually doing. And if you'd like to hear more about it, like I'd love to add you, no pressure, muchacho, whatever. And like, you know, and send them who it is, and then talk about the details and show your heart and sell your heart in that group that now they're a part of for free without thinking about it. And then you can follow up. And that has been really easy for me, especially in these busier seasons of our life, to be like, I can send out 600 invites about like, do you want to hear me talk about my life? Cool. Come on over in here. And then while I'm talking about my life, I just happen to be a Beachbody coach, you know, like, so it's just kind of an easier, like, I feel like less pressure way. So anyways, but we'll go through all of that too as we start next week with our training. So,
and I think those are scary too, Ashley, like doing your own. But once you do one, it's like exhilarating, and just do it. Even if you have one person in the group, that group will grow, and they'll hear it multiple times. You'll get better and better at it. And the first time I did mine, nobody came on live. Nobody. So just do it for yourself. Like, it feels really, really good.
I think I have this like weird fear that I'm like doing it wrong too. Like, I see how like awesome you guys are at your posts and everything, and I'm like, I can't make a post that cool. Like, I can't make a group. What? It'll look stupid. But I'm like, okay, stop. Just stop.
Yeah,
but thank you guys all. I appreciate the advice.
Yeah. But we're also different, Ashley. The person that wants to be your challenger isn't probably the person that wants to be mine or Kate's or Christy's or Sarah's or Kelsey's or any of ours. Like, that's probably the best part. Like, when people talk about like this market's saturated, like, yeah, there's a lot of Beachbody coaches, but there's also a lot that don't stick with it, that people get kind of sad. Like, hey, I was doing this and I was doing good, and then you let me down. That's why another reason why we shouldn't quit.
Right.
But people are looking for a specific personality, and there's people looking specifically for you. So you have to be ready for it. So put those posts out there. Know that you're not going to get a ton of traction on just a post. It has to be those personal invites. And you already feel like you don't want to be salesy about it. So do what's comfortable. And there is no right way to do this. Trust me. Ask any one of us how many times we have changed the way we do things since in the last 3 years. Like, it's at least been like a dozen times each year probably. So there's no right way. And then sometimes we go back to the old way that we were doing things. We were like, oh, well, that was working better. Like, there's no right or wrong way at all. So any other questions, you guys?
Cool. Thanks, ladies.
You guys are all rock stars. Oh, Rachel's on here. Rachel, I didn't even know you were on here. That's your picture though. Okay. Thank you guys for jumping on the team call. I didn't get my picture yet, so now I have to take it. Sorry. Actually, I'm going to do an Insta story. You guys call them Insta stories or Instagram stories?
Insta story.
You're Insta stories, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Insta story.
we weren't born in 1960s.
Oh, I want to open my story. Okay. Ready? Here's my lovely Team Eat Sweat Pray ladies. They're the best. And now you guys are on my Insta.
I get it. You were like recording it.
I recorded it. I
was like,
I'm feeling a little Jatana Jackson over here, guys.
Good. Figuring out Insta stories has like made my life exciting.
It's amazing. I love it. And
so social media special.
It is. I literally look forward to Insta story every single day. I'm like, I can't wait to wake up and post some of my Insta story.
I do it specifically for Sarah because I'm like, she has to read time.
Yes, Sarah reads them and she responds to them. Like,
all right, guys.
Insta stories.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.